Built in 1903 at 1901 North Douglas Avenue in Oklahoma City, the original home of Oklahoma City University was known as Epworth University. To this day, it stands as a huge, structurally sound yet largely empty building with a basement and 3 upper floors. Its finished rooms, wide staircases, and grand hallways all bear testimony to glorious days gone by, but they also speak of much current activity. The basement and first 2 floors are composed of functional and usable space that's been upgraded and maintained by Epworth United Methodist Church. The church has occupied the space since 1926, when a beautiful new sanctuary was added to the eastern edifice of the old Epworth building. In recent years, it's been renovated and restored to its original splendor. In its early years, the Epworth congregation was large and fully utilized the space. However, as time passed, the congregation followed the course of many inner-city churches and gradually diminished in membership. Today, the Epworth congregation has approximately 300 active members and an average of 85 in worship on Sundays. The present congregation is vital and has a clear sense of mission and purpose. It prides itself on being fully inclusive, welcoming all persons. As a part of the Reconciling Ministries network of the United Methodist Church, it embodies and advocates for full inclusion of persons, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity. In recent years, the Epworth congregation has gone to great lengths to maintain its building for mission and ministry. Money's been borrowed for the renovation of the sanctuary and for other major improvements. Thanks to a generous bequest from a former member of Epworth, the nursery's been remodeled, the parking lot resurfaced, and technology upgraded in the sanctuary. Sadly, the Epworth congregation is barely able to sustain a viable operating budget of $180,000. Funds utilized for capital improvements are close to being exhausted. Recent storms damaged the roofs to the extent that the insurance company declared them a total loss. The deductible portion of the replacement cost will place an additional burden on our depleted funds. And looking to the future, we face a crippling annual insurance premium of nearly $30,000. The magnificent building that's been Epworth's glory has become Epworth's burden. The congregation is faced with the painful prospect of being unable to sustain its life in the current location. If the congregation was to move to a low-rent location, the space would be lost that is vital to Epworth's mission. A total of 150 to 200 persons are treated every Saturday morning in the Manos Juntas Free Clinic. An after-school program is conducted by Skyline Urban Ministries JETS program for disadvantaged children. Martha's House, NSO's transitional housing for mothers with children, is providing life skills training and child care each week. Positive Tomorrow's, a school for homeless children housed in Epworth's educational annex, maintains a library on the first floor for the daily use of their students. The Contra Dancers partnered with Epworth to restore and maintain the beautiful grand ballroom on the second floor where they hold regular events. Every Sunday afternoon, a Hispanic congregation worships in the fellowship hall. Thanks to a generous grant from the Manos Juntas Foundation and the volunteer efforts of many members of the Epworth congregation, a beautifully renovated state-of-the-art kitchen is now available for many uses, including classes in diabetes prevention and nutritional cooking. Beyond its use for church meals, plans are underway to provide free meals to persons from the surrounding neighborhood. Certainly, there are other ministries, such as the Ice Angels, who go out daily to serve the needs of the homeless, that will continue regardless of the congregation's location. However, as you can see, there are many ministries that are dependent upon the space that the Epworth building provides. The vision of Epworth United Methodist Church is to maintain a center of mission and ministry to the marginalized people of the changing inner city. Its building is certainly a burden, but as one can see, it's potentially a great resource. The people of Epworth are committed to finding a way for that great resource to be preserved and developed. This presentation is offered in the sincere hope that partnerships can be developed to help Epworth bring the vision to reality. Of course, Oklahoma City University comes to mind as a potential partner because of the historical tie of Epworth to the university. But further, it seems that the Epworth building could become a great asset as a training ground in urban ministry for OCU and even provide housing for an urban retreat center. The Oklahoma Conference of the United Methodist Church might see in Epworth a site for congregational development that places an emphasis on mission to the neighborhood rather than abandonment of the neighborhood. The restoration of an old historically significant building in the heart of the city might command the resources of foundations and agencies to assist in the restoration of an energy-efficient, ecologically sustainable building. Oklahoma City, and more specifically the Gatewood community, would value space for social service agencies to operate and serve the needs of the area. As already indicated, there is much space in the Epworth building that's being maintained and utilized. But there is also much space that is vacant and inaccessible except by stairs. The entire third floor is unfinished and can be configured for any number of purposes. For all of the space to be fully available, there are two essential high-dollar requirements: an elevator and a fire suppression system. Access to the basement and the first floor is currently available with the use of chair lifts in the stairway. Time is growing short for the Epworth congregation to be able to sustain its vision. Are you willing to help Epworth fulfill its vision? The bottom line is that with vital partnerships, Epworth can preserve a huge space of more than 23,000 square feet for significant ministry, or abandon it to finally deteriorate and be destroyed.